Conservative MP and prominent Brexiteer Andrew Bridgen hit the headlines back in January when he submitted a bombshell letter of no confidence in the Prime Minister. Following a slew of Partygate revelations, the MP for North West Leicestershire made the announcement with a heavy heart, writing, "There is currently a moral vacuum at the heart of our government. Sadly, the Prime Minister's position has become untenable." Well, he's now made a dramatic U-turn and torn up that letter, saying it would be an indulgence to hold a vote of no confidence during the war. And he's not the only one, with Scottish Tory leader Douglas Ross also rescinding his letter to the 1922 committee, declaring Bojo deserves support as the conflict rages on. And I'm delighted to say Andrew Bridgen joins me now. So, Andrew, did you get it wrong on Boris? Because actually, he's been a statesman, hasn't he, over the past few weeks?
He has, and he's had to be. He's led the country, and that's why I've withdrawn my letter. I think Einstein said, when the facts change, I change my mind. What do you do? And the facts have changed. We're now effectively, certainly on an economic war footing. We're very nearly on a physical war footing.
Yeah.
And to indulge in trying to remove the Prime Minister or some sort of internecine warfare within the Conservative Party, it only helps our enemies. And as we know now, we have more of those than we thought we did.
Well, of course, and I wonder if this is a bit of a wake-up call to the whole party, that this isn't a game, is it? Isn't it? Because one of the reasons that I continued supporting Boris Johnson and didn't like this Partygate campaign is that we don't know what's coming up. And because of your party's policy, a leadership election contest would be very unsettling, and it would take quite a long time.
It would destabilise the government. It would destabilise the country at a time of national emergency, effectively. We are facing huge threats, exacerbated by the situation in Ukraine, an energy crisis, rising prices, which, inflation at levels which half of our population, the younger half of our population, have never experienced. And it's a time now to get behind the Prime Minister, because that's actually getting behind the country.
No, and I completely agree with all of that. But look, talk to me about the raw politics, because you're one of the most connected men in Westminster. You know what your Tory colleagues are thinking. Is there a lot of people withdrawing letters?
Well, I think there would be actually nobody would be putting one in at the moment. I mean, that would be ludicrous. So I think there are...
because it came pretty close, didn't it? It came closer than what a lot of people thought to sparking that confidence.
There have been some good changes in the personnel at Number 10, those around and advising the Prime Minister. David Canzini's come into Number 10 as a deputy head. I tried to get him in after the 19 election. I again recommended him when Cummings left, and now he's in. And he's a wise head for the Conservative Party, a great campaigner, and a proper Conservative.
Has Boris proven that he could be a great leader?
He certainly had the opportunity. The events of Boris's Prime Ministership, I mean, he's been bombarded. We had the Brexit...
That's a bad hand, right?
Well, they say he's a lucky politician, but he hasn't been very lucky far as the events that have come forward. So we had the Brexit crisis, and he broke through there. We've had the biggest pandemic for 100 years, and he's dealt with that. And now the figures are all coming out that we actually did rather better than France and Germany. Our economy's rebounded, and we're ahead of where we were pre-COVID. And I think we had 5 hours from when we perhaps belatedly got the government to reduce the COVID restrictions. We could have gone earlier, but 5 hours after we got out of that crisis, then Putin invades the Ukraine. I mean, it's relentless. Anyone who thinks that the job of being Prime Minister is a cakewalk, I mean, just look at how it ages them to start with.
Did you tell him personally that you were withdrawing your letter?
I passed it through channels, through Number 10 staff to tell him. Before I did.
Is he forgiving?
That's up to the Prime Minister. I think he knows how politics works,
He seems forgiving. It seems like he just wants to unite his party now. He doesn't want to seek revenge against the people who put the letters, and that's the sense that I get anyway.
That wouldn't be a good policy, would it, really?
No.
And, what we've got to deal with is the situation before us. We need to have a united party.
Is there any way that Partygate still finishes them off? Because, look, I'm sick of talking about it, but of course, the Gray report still hasn't come. We still don't know if he's going to receive the action from the police.
And also, we don't know what Mr Cummings has got in his locker that he's going to throw out there. I mean, he's a clever tactician. He'll know that he won't fire bullets at Boris when he's not going to hit him, and he wouldn't hit him now because of international events. But this international crisis is not going to be over quickly.
No.
And I do worry about how many more innocent people are going to be sacrificed on the altar of Putin's pride.
No, indeed. Well, look, I'm done with it. I'm done with Partygate. I really am. I just hope that this crisis has woken people up. It was a story that the mainstream media focused on relentlessly for weeks and weeks and weeks. I hope now that we can treat the report and everything with the pinch of salt that it deserves. But Andrew Bridgen, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.